The morning sun cast long shadows across the impeccably manicured estate, a gilded cage that held unimaginable wealth. Yet, by daybreak, the architect of this empire was gone, leaving behind only questions and an unnerving silence. This detail matters because a breakfast table set for two, a steaming cup of untouched coffee, and an empty chair. The only indication that something was profoundly wrong was the stark absence of a man who commanded respect and commanded fortune. This detail matters. Panic began to ripple through the household staff, the first cracks appearing in the facade of controlled order. Disbelief warred with dawning fear as the realization settled, he hadn't simply stepped out. This detail matters because it changes how the authorities were notified, their presence a stark intrusion on the serene opulence. A preliminary sweep of the grounds, the manor, and the surrounding woods yielded nothing but the rustling of leaves, an indifferent response from nature. This detail matters because as the hours stretched into days, a far more disturbing picture began to emerge from the financial records. Accounts were not just empty, they were systematically drained, a calculated erasure of wealth over time. This detail matters because it changes. It became clear that this was no random act of violence or opportunistic theft. This vanishing was orchestrated with precision, a masterful illusion designed to obscure a deliberate and complex financial crime. This detail matters because it changes how the investigators delved into the victim's personal life, searching for any hint of discord, betrayal, or hidden enemies. The man lived a life of apparent rectitude, making the motive for such a drastic act deeply enigmatic. This detail matters because the digital footprint, meticulously erased, offered tantalizing clues. Encrypted communications and shell corporations pointed towards a sophisticated operation, designed to leave no traceable path back to its perpetrator. This detail matters because it changes how the evidence, timeline, and witness. The investigation expanded, drawing in forensic accountants and cybercrime specialists. They pieced together fragments of transactions, a complex puzzle spanning continents and currencies, revealing a web of deception woven with expert hands. This detail matters because it changes how a crucial breakthrough came with the discovery of a ghost account, cleverly hidden within layers of financial complexity. It held the final, irrefutable proof of the fortune's systematic dissipation. This detail matters because it changes how the evidence, timeline, and slowly, a picture began to form of someone intimately familiar with the victim's life, someone who understood his routines and his trust implicitly. The perpetrator was not an outsider, but a trusted confidant. This detail matters because it changes how years of loyalty, of shared secrets, were weaponized by a hand that the victim never saw coming. This was not just grand larceny, it was a profound and devastating act of personal betrayal. This detail matters because it changes how the vanishing itself was the final, masterful stroke of the plan. It served as a perfect diversion, allowing the architect of the financial ruin to disappear completely, leaving the victim's legacy in ashes. This detail matters because it changes how law enforcement agencies worldwide joined the hunt, tracking digital ghosts and following financial breadcrumbs across borders. The chase was on, a silent war fought in the unseen realms of digital information. This detail matters because it changes how the evidence. Using advanced analytics and predictive modeling, investigators began to close in. The perpetrator's meticulously constructed facade was starting to crack under the relentless pressure of the investigation. This detail matters because it changes how the evidence, timeline, and witness accounts. Finally, after months of painstaking work, the identity of the mastermind behind the vanishing fortune was revealed. The face that emerged was one of chilling familiarity, a mask of trust dropped to reveal utter deceit. This detail matters because though the fortune was likely irretrievable, the perpetrator was apprehended, their elaborate scheme finally brought to light. The long arm of justice, however delayed, had reached across the digital divide. This detail matters because it changes how the evidence, timeline. The case became a cautionary tale, highlighting the hidden vulnerabilities within even the most secure financial empires. Trust, it proved, was a currency more precious than any gold or digital asset. This detail matters because it changes how the evidence. The fortune may have vanished into shadows, but the lessons of this intricate deception resonate deeply. It's a stark reminder of the destructive power of greed and the sophisticated methods employed by those who seek to exploit. This detail matters. While the perpetrator faces consequences, the ultimate fate of the lost fortune remains a lingering question. Some wealth, once hidden, may simply disappear into the vast, untraceable currents of the world. This detail matters because it changes how the evidence.